No.
Look, everybody, Ridley Scott is back with a sequel to Prometheus and a prequel to Alien, called Alien Covenant. This time around, we join young Magneto, Tina Goldstein, Dr. Manhattan, and Kenny Powers. Seeing as this movie has gotten a meh response from both critics and viewers alike, I am joined tonight by Eric to find out why this movie is such a facehugger. And I don't mean that it's a facehugger because it steals hours of your life and makes you wish you were dead afterwards. No, I mean you should call Eric and I Bishop because we're going to dissect this movie to figure out exactly what went wrong. Hello everybody, welcome to The Regulars. I'm Bill, with me is Eric. Yeah, and you might be asking yourself, Bill, it's been 2 weeks since this movie came out. Why aren't you guys doing a good review like Wonder Woman? It's because we hate ourselves. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this movie needs to be destroyed. So, welcome back, our personal angel of death. Eric, how are you?
I'm okay. And no, I'm not responsible for Chris Cornell.
No, but that one hurt me the most. We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
Not
that
here.
one's...
That one hurts.
No, not here.
That one hurts.
That one's stuck. Yeah, okay.
That one is as bad
Moving
as
on.
Okay, moving on. We're talking tonight about... Do we have to?
Yeah, we have to. I know, I can see you crying. The audience can't see me crying because my camera won't work, but I'm crying right along with you, Bill.
We're talking about Alien Covenant, the sequel to Prometheus, and like I don't even know where to start.
Roll credits.
Yeah, really, just
roll credits.
Like, this is so far off the point. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
In hindsight, I can now look back and be like, well, at least Prometheus tried to do something, you know? It didn't do it well. It was pretty bad.
But it tried to do something.
This movie literally has no point.
No.
None.
It doesn't. It doesn't move. It doesn't move the plot forward.
Or
it doesn't move the franchise forward.
No.
It doesn't move anything. In fact, I would venture to say that it basically just destroyed the entire franchise.
Yeah, and like, okay, I'm 21 years into my fandom of Alien. How far are you?
Oh, fuck me running. A little longer than that, I think.
Yeah.
I think I first saw Alien in its entirety when I was 16. So, yeah, about 20, about the same as you, honestly.
Okay, yeah, because I saw Alien 3 when it debuted on Cinemax. And, and I had nightmares forever, and gradually grew to love it.
I remember seeing the trailers for Alien 3 at the movies. So, and that was back at the Ward Theater before it became the Young Cult.
Yeah, I mean...
So...
I mean, I knew about Alien, but I never saw it, and I was like, ooh, I want to watch this. I'm 9. My dad's like, sure, screw it, whatever. And then developed from there. But in our 20 years, did you ever ask yourself, hey, I really want to know where the aliens came from?
Nope.
Nope.
Didn't care. They were cool. They were mysterious. They were part of the deep, dark cosmos that was unexplored. And that's where I was happy to leave it.
It was one of those things that's like, I was always happy that the Space Jockeys and the alien was never developed. And
that it was a mystery.
It was a mystery because you never wanted to know, and you didn't.
No.
And like, you could, like, in my mind, ooh, today I'm thinking the Space Jockeys found them, or today I'm thinking the Space Jockeys made them. You know, it just it didn't matter. And yeah, there might be a comic book or two out there that tries to answer it, but you know what? I don't know what it is off the top of my head, so therefore it sucked. And that's what this movie is. It sucked. Prometheus' biggest sin was taking the mystery of the space jockey and making him a big blue balloon dude. Okay.
Yeah, and then not giving them any kind of reason.
And a lot of like the middle of Prometheus is so filler and pointless that doesn't have, and people are making these snap decisions and like they're coming up with like random theories that we're supposed to take as truth, but since nothing is concrete, everything feels wishy-washy. That's this, except you take away this, I'm not calling them engineers ever, Space Jockeys, and put in a third act or random alien. Like, bizarro weird.
I remember when we were talking about this when the hype, when it was first announced and first coming about, and we were saying, you know, hey, we hope it picks up where Prometheus ends off. We hope we get to see more of the Space Jockeys. We hope we get some of their rhyme or reason for why they felt they had to create this biological weapon.
Black Goo, and then
the Black Goo.
Because, like, again, the Black Goo is this weird MacGuffin that doesn't have rules. It sometimes kills people outright and decodes them. Other times it mutates them, and we don't ever have an answer for it. And
which is one of the hugest sticking points about these two movies that I've got, is they set it up in the first 2.5-3 minutes of Prometheus. When the Space Jockey drinks the goo, he fucking disintegrates.
Yeah.
And then David puts
him, and it decodes him, and it like makes humans through genetic randomness. And I'm like, okay, that's all right, I guess. That's kind of cool. Maybe they did that on another planet, and the bacteria in that water made aliens. Who knows? Yeah. You know?
Who knows?
But the next time we see it,
but then like, David put it in
Charlie's drink, and
in Charlie's drink, and he fucking turns into the Exorcist. I don't know what happened there.
Like he slowly started to like corrupt himself.
Yeah,
but like it corrupted his DNA. So when he banged what's her face.
Yeah,
she had an alien, like proto alien inside of her. I don't remember what the stupid name it's called for it. There's a bunch of names.
I don't either.
And I'm like, this is.
It was a land octopus.
Yeah, a land octopus. And then like, if it gets on like worms, it turns into hammer penis peds. And if it gets all over your face, you turn into a zombie. But a deleted scene, more alien, which is actually a lot better. Just saying. But like, we don't know what the Black Goo is for being the center piece of this whole movie. And we don't get it. And there's some people who liked Prometheus. So that makes me even more confused, because if you liked Prometheus, you'd hate Alien Covenant because it throws all of that out the window. And if you like Alien, you're going to hate this movie because it's a worse Alien movie. It's like Friday the 13th meets Alien in a bad way. Yeah. So I don't know who this movie was made for. Like my friend Billy, who's on the cast, says, it was all right. I'm like, really? What was all right about this? It looked nice, but the characters were horribly like written. Nobody was realistic, and like here, I'll go over the whole plot right now. Full blown spoilers.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah, go for it. Here we go. Spoilers.
This ship called Covenant is going to a planet far, far away because they're hit by a neutrino burst, which sounds like the worst thing ever. Half the crew gets fried or some reason like that, and then they pick up a random distress signal. They go to a planet, they get killed by random proto-aliens, then David's there, and then David hates humans for some reason, and that's it.
Well, all right. So, I'm going to back up, because it was not a distress signal. And that's one of my biggest... That was one of my biggest complaints.
We'll bring it down more, because there's more to complain about here. Like, the beginning of the movie, again, wastes the most amazing actor I love to death, Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
Sets up
that entire opening scene was a waste of my life.
Like,
I will never get that 5 minutes back.
I don't get this 2 hours back. Okay?
I know. It opens up it opens up in this weird room overlooking fucking the forests of Washington. I don't know where the hell they are.
No.
And there's David in all his glory.
The statue David, yes.
Yeah, the statue of David. And then there's also the android who chooses his name by looking at David's dong, basically, and says, I will be called David.
Which is weird, since he is David number 8. So did the other Davids not pick David?
I don't know. But then they spend literally 5 minutes having a philosophical debate
about one's dick, pretty much.
Yeah, about, since you created me, am I lesser than you? La-di-da-di-da. It's basically Ridley Scott who, he didn't write this.
No.
He didn't. But it's basically Ridley Scott's handprints all over it, doing philosophical and theological masturbation for 10 minutes.
And it's utterly pointless because it also retcons what David was in Prometheus.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you, I never felt David was malicious in Prometheus.
Mm-mm.
I literally thought when he put the goo in the drink, he was running an experiment to see what would happen to Charlie, to see if he could save Weyland.
Yeah.
Everything he was doing, because he would report back to Weyland. I never thought anything he was doing was evil, so all of a sudden, in this movie, 10 years later, he's evil because of this intro?
And it kind of erases that whole scene where they resurrect Weyland in on the Prometheus when they bring him out of cryostasis and they wake him up, and David's washing his feet and lovingly dressing him, and getting him ready to walk to the cave, and it completely erases that relationship by having this scene set up, because from the get-go it establishes that David hates Weyland and thinks himself better than Weyland. So basically, in the first 5 minutes, they bent Prometheus over the table and fucked it.
Which is hard it's weird for me to be defending Prometheus right now.
It really is, especially since we've talked about Prometheus.
And we hate Prometheus.
Yeah, we do. Although, now I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's really weird. And so then it does this hard cut to a ship in space, and it's called the Covenant, and it's like I don't know if it's the first colonization or like the furthest away colony.
It never established that. I remember them doing like a little 15-minute teaser video, which is another.
This movie does two huge chunks of story that we'll get into part of the problem that are just put on YouTube and not in this movie at all. I thought, oh sweet, I'm watching like 10 minutes of the movie. I'll watch it. This is gonna be cool. And then I watch the movie and I go, question, where was this scene where you have this whole like crew bonding moment that was necessary for, I don't know, fucking character development that we don't get ever.
Exactly. And I feel like by leaving that out of the movie, first of all, I couldn't keep track of who was married to who, and I couldn't care less. Dr.
Manhattan was married to the botanist chick.
I don't know. It gave me a nosebleed trying to keep track. Apparently there was a gay relationship in there.
There's a gay relationship I only caught briefly, but I was like, you didn't have to develop this. Damn Daniels was dating James Franco, who was in this movie for 2 seconds.
And burned to a crisp.
And Danny McBride dated Panic Chick, who was dumb.
Oh, yep.
That was it.
Yep, who was... that scene. Oh.
We'll get to it.
God.
We'll get to it.
Okay,
that scene's so bad.
So basically, this 10-minute teaser video that was not in the movie
at all
sets up that this is the first...
Which funny, it's in the trailers. In fact, the trailer that leads into this video has that scene.
It does.
It has that scene
which
about
is
how they're
very irritating.
Which is bizarro.
So what I gleaned from it was this is the first expedition they sent out with married couples. Whoop-de shit.
Yeah. So they hit...
So they're
They hit, like... You have Walter walking around, played by Michael Fassbender, as the new model or whatever, and like, we'll talk about the android problem later because nothing fits yet. Like nothing.
So this one's American.
Alien. Yeah.
This one has a really bad American accent.
Yeah.
For Fassbender, it really kind of disappointed me, and brown hair.
And like they get hit by a neutrino burst, which sounds like the most awful science fiction name for anything ever. Like, this is something like...
Number one, we've been hit by a neutrino burst.
Right, I don't know if it's real or not, but it sounds so utterly science fiction that I'm just like, are you kidding me? So
basically what it does, it gives them an excuse for Walter to wake up the crew.
Yeah, which...
It was basically a giant plot hook...
To wake him up.
To get the crew to wake up.
Which, we don't know why it happened. They say it's random. But it seems like this is the weird thing. Like, everything is so... random that nothing lines up, that this is a coincidence, it's like all coincidental. Well, in all of the other movies everything was made specifically to a point.
Yeah, well, it went from point A to point B with a purpose.
Yeah, like in
This one kind of was like
the original Alien. They are woken up because they hear a distress signal. Later, you find out that it was always their plan to make them go there, the company, Weyland Yutani. But they are woken up to go there, and by law, they have to investigate it.
Yep.
So
yeah, because it's part of their
Contract,
it's in their handbook.
Yeah.
It's in their contract. If they don't respond, they don't get a full share.
yeah, and that's kind of like the main thing. Like everybody's on board except
Yep.
Parker and Brett, who are all about
Yep.
greed and money. And all of a sudden, oh,
Yep.
if you don't go investigate, no money. You forfeit your shares.
No
Oh,
money.
shit. We're going.
Yep.
So, like,
Yep.
this is a random burst happens. The captain dies, which is James Franco, who he gets cooked alive. Because someone set the
Yeah.
cryo sleep on broil, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so a big fish, Dr. Manhattan, takes
Yep.
over, and he is like one of the
And
most poorly
he's like
written
this
characters ever.
spineless. He has no backbone. He's dull as oatmeal. He has no command presence.
And
like
the first scene he has with his wife, he talks about how, oh, they're prejudiced against me because I have religion. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
yeah.
And like
Yeah.
that's all the development that ever comes from it from there on out is that he has religion and therefore he's looked down upon, so he's trying to prove something. And I'm like,
And at least in Prometheus, they sort of explained Shaw's. Her father had faith, and so she sort of had
has
faith.
and,
at
she's
least,
going
and
to
at least,
explore this idea,
right.
and it was an interesting concept of there was enough there to grasp the
Right.
meaty idea of religion of, oh yes, though I'm literally looking at my creator, I still believe in a higher power. You know, it's like even without it being explored.
But in this movie,
Nope.
nothing.
Nope. Just ignore it.
Nada.
Move on.
So basically, they spend 20 minutes trying to fix the ship, which, by the way, is full of 2,000 frozen
People.
colonists
And like 1,000
and-
frozen embryos.
and 1,000 frozen embryos, some of which they lose in the damage,
Yeah.
and that's supposed to make us feel bad, which it doesn't.
It doesn't, because
And then
literally faceless and nameless. Don't care. You know.
then they spend 5 minutes defying the captain who told them not to mourn their
The death
dead
of the
crewmate,
Yeah. And they do it
Yeah.
anyways.
and they do it anyways. So then, after they get the ship repaired and back up running, out of fucking nowhere comes this errant signal. And it's not a distress call,
No, it's
as we come to find out. It's somebody singing "Take Me Home, Country Road."
why? Like I went through Prometheus to see if she liked that song.
Yeah.
No,
No.
not there
No.
at all.
Mm-mm. Nope. So they get some sketchy signal, and then they're all like, "Oh, well, this planet's a lot closer than the one we're supposed to go to."
How did we not? How did we not find this? I'm like, oh, that's an interesting
Yeah.
idea. Maybe the company is kind of pushing them there. You know, nope, don't.
Right.
Even, don't
It
even have
opens
those
it up
thoughts.
for. Yep.
Don't have
It
those
opens
thoughts.
it up for conspiracy,
Not
but
there.
don't expect it. Don't expect it.
It's not there.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
so they literally decide to go there because, and I quote one of the lines is, nobody wants to get back in the cryopods right now because the freak accident of a neutrino burst would roil someone randomly. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that James Franco was just smoking a blunt in there, and it went horribly wrong.
Yeah. So they decide to go to this planet and try to recreate the aliens drop scene, and it doesn't work at all.
Okay, but I have to kind of back up a little bit here because everybody on the crew, except for Dr. Manhattan, says, no, we don't want to go to this fucking planet. What's-her-face fights him on the decision.
I thought everybody wanted to go except her. Like everyone's like, we could check it out just for a little, R&R, haha, kind of thing.
Yeah, the plan was, I'm forgetting part of it, but she actively files a protest against her captain.
He goes, this, we don't know what's fucking out there. I'm doing a protest. And he's like, okay, that's fine, but we're all going.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So then they recreate the alien drop scene with absolutely no dramatic effect whatsoever.
Or tension or anything.
Or
there's an ion storm in the atmosphere for some reason like
how
that.
Convenient.
Again, something
Which means
really
they'll be
cheesy.
cut off. which means they'll be cut off from communications to the Covenant. Plot hook. We're going this way.
Yeah, and then they land, and something's broken on the dropship because of the rough chops. And there's a part of me that was actually kind of starting to enjoy this part. Because I like...
And I agree with you because it was starting to ramp up to something.
Yeah, I like the back and forth between the Covenant and the dropship, and they're trying to fix something, and the weather's going wrong. I'm like, ooh, this is something interesting going to happen. And then, no safety protocols whatsoever. Let's just walk around this,
oh my God. They get off the ship with no protective gear.
At all.
No helmets. No spacesuits.
Like on their heads. And they...
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but this bothered me. They parked in the middle of the water.
Yeah, they parked in the water.
Which...
in the middle of the water.
You're going to stomp through water trying to get to land? You don't know what's underneath there.
Yeah, you don't know what lives in that water.
Have you
don't know if the water's pure.
Star Wars? There's a trash monster
no one's
under
seen Star Wars.
Just no, gone.
Yep.
So like anytime I found myself enjoying this movie, I was pulled and ripped out of. Every time.
Any space captain worth their salt who sends an exploratory team on an uncharted alien planet without proper safety gear should be shot in the face and put in the airlock.
Yeah, so they're walking around this planet, and I'm like, okay, and they're
highly trained space officers. Keep in mind, these are people who are highly trained company space officers.
I have no...
Keep that thought with you at all times.
I have no problem with... We're going to call him Backburster, okay?
Yeah.
His was cliche and painful and cliche enough, but it wasn't like he wasn't like the other guy. So they wander around, they split up.
Yeah.
Dr. Manhattan's wife...
split up, which is problem number one.
Yeah, which we'll get to groaning moment number one. We're splitting up, okay? Groaning moment number two is Dr. Manhattan's wife and random security guy are taking samples of, I'm assuming, the Black Goo, and random security guy goes, I gotta take a leak. That's groan number two. You're going, I know it's gonna happen
groan number
here.
two.
But the rest of the team go up and they uncover the ship that what's her name? What is her name? Shaw and David rode in on, but like
David, yep.
So we don't have...
They find the Juggernaut.
They find the Juggernaut, and it's like it's supposed to be like this whole reminiscent thing of like Alien, but you don't care because you're like, I know who was in it.
Yeah.
There's no mystery here, and literally, like I think it's back to back, but like the guy who goes to take a leak hits a bunch of spores with his feet, and these spores pop out and look so dumb. Like, I thought it was just going to...
fly into his ear.
Well, they fly into his ear and burrow into his skin. But, like, the thing is, the spores aren't, like, a solid mass. They're just, like... They're all reacting. And they're, like, all over the place. And I'm like, this looks so dumb. If you would have just had a spore fling into his ear and that was it, that was all we need. We didn't need this whole, like, multi-piece bullshit thing. It's so dumb.
Well, and that would be one of my biggest complaints about the movie is I feel like they spared no expense on... the set dressings and the CGI, and the movie visually is beautiful.
Well, so was Prometheus.
I will give it, and so was Prometheus. I will give them high marks for that. But where they really skimped, obviously, was in the story.
Well, it's like looking at a McDonald's commercial. Man, that Big Mac looks really, really good. But when you bite into it, it's going to be low quality meat and nothing there. And that's what this movie is.
Exactly.
Like I don't know if I want to make the comparison now, but this literally feels like Attack of the Clones for me. This is Attack of the Clones.
Absolutely. You're right. You're right.
Because
it really is.
Because of how bad this is, I can go like how bad Attack of the Clones was. I was like, well, Phantom Menace wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty bad, but it wasn't Attack of the
Pretty
Clones.
bad.
Covenant's
bad.
Prometheus isn't that bad. It's not Covenant bad. That's what this feels like because it has no substance and it has like these cool ideas, but nobody told them no. Nobody said stop.
Well, nobody strung them together coherently either.
Yeah.
Like they were like, oh, let's just have a bunch of cool ideas and then just jump from one to another without any reason or rhyme. So we get two members of the crew
we didn't get to the
infected with these spores. The other guy. Get back to him.
Is the worst. He literally sticks his face into the spores and starts touching it.
Yep.
And then you find out
again.
Then you find
Again,
out
highly trained space officers
poking.
with no respiratory gear poking at some weird planet that is clearly, like, if they couldn't see the spores being released from that,
They're dumb.
a blind man could have seen the. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
because then get ready for the whole point of the movie. They go up to the Juggernaut for no reason at all.
Yep.
The whole movie is no reason at all, and then
Yep.
someone gets sick, so they start heading back, and then
Yep.
the dude who got it in his ear is freaking out, and they put him in quarantine, which is dumb because
Yep.
everyone involved in the scene had blood on them from him. But
Yep.
but
Yep.
but Danny McBride's wife says, no, we gotta lock you in quarantine, even though she had blood literally sped up on her. Quarantine is over
In
at
her
that
face.
point, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've got this guy locked up in the med bay, and something comes bursting out of his back, which
is
vaguely resembles
the Bambi burst.
our little friend. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I have to say, that was cool.
That was cool.
It was good.
It was
body
very cool.
horror.
Yep.
But then I don't know if this was supposed to be realistic tension, but it came off like Three Stooges comedy.
Especially when she slipped in the blood.
Both of them slip in the blood.
Whoop, 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 whoop,
And
whoop.
this thing starts growing fast, and it's not quite
Like,
alien. And,
no.
And like she has this. This is the most painful.
Oh,
She has
here
this
we go.
knife, and she's literally saying, "Keep the fuck away from me." And I'm like this thing's, and then it starts attacking her. And you can. This is where like the whole CG thing falls apart because she's going like this and like trying to defend herself, but not stabbing it. Like
Yep.
her literal knife hand is not doing anything, and she's just
No.
getting mauled to death. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
all this tension and horror that you built up to this point of this guy getting sick and spewing up blood and these things coming out of his back and then his back literally exploding and having like his spine swinging, which was really, really cool. The tension is relieved by her slipping on blood and being an idiot and not stabbing it with a knife.
But nothing compares to her crewmate, who then has the brilliant idea,
Go get a gun.
oh my god, to go get a gun. And the highly trained space explorer, what does she do? She just fucking starts shooting holes in the hull.
Mm-hmm.
Like, while she's trying to shoot this little creature, she just fucking... And what does she end up doing?
No.
She blows up the ship.
Back it up. She goes into quarantine.
Yeah, she goes back into the quarantine area.
Slips on the blood.
She slips on the blood. Yep, same blood. This is the third person, by the way, to slip on the blood.
She crawls out of the door, shuts the door on her foot.
Yeah, breaks her foot. I forgot about that part.
Then
because the alien's charging her.
Yeah, and managed to still shut the door properly. And I'm just like, this is like some and then, like she said, starts shooting the hole and then blows up the whole thing.
She blows up the fucking escape ship. So basically, they needed to figure out a way to have them trapped on the planet. And that was what they came up with. A Three Stooges routine. So basically, they set up this really cool body horror scene and then fucking stepped in it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then
literally, they slipped on it.
In the blood. And
in the blood.
While this is happening, all of a sudden, the dude who had it in his nose spits it out of his mouth?
It comes tearing out of his mouth and into the brush, Velociraptor style.
Yeah, and like runs away, and all of the guys with guns decide not to shoot it right then and there.
Yep, because they're all standing around going, what?
Not, oh my god, something just popped out of my friend's mouth. Let's shoot it.
Yeah.
Then what was assuming to be a really cool action scene, again, came off as a clusterfuck of I don't know what's going on here, of the monster then coming back, attacking everybody, killing nameless crewmen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. Biting
At this point, you don't even care.
Yeah, like I don't care.
Oh, well, this is an important point when it bites Walter's hand off. That is an important, very important plot point that you must keep in mind.
Because Walter's now missing a hand, and then all of a sudden...
Because Walter is now missing a hand.
I lost track of the monster at this point, because then David shows up and shoots a flare gun, and then all of a sudden the monster disappears.
Yeah. So this mysterious hooded figure, David, cough, cough. And, sorry, the instant he showed up, they're trying to make it this mysterious reveal, and I could feel my anus tighten because it was like, it's fucking David.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking David in his Jedi gear. Oh, fuck. So David
takes them to like this city with bodies
Yes.
all over the place, and says,
Yes.
"Oh, I'm part of the Prometheus. Elizabeth Shaw was with me. She died in the crash. On our crash, Black Goo was shoot out and killed everybody on the planet." Huh.
Okay. So let's go back to Prometheus. When we left Shaw and David was just a head in a bag.
Yep.
And by that time, he had been responsible for 5 or 6 of Shaw's crewmates dying.
Mm-hmm.
Point 1, why the fuck did Shaw rebuild him?
Right?
That, in and of itself, irritated me. Why the hell, with knowing what she knew,
Would she do that?
would she do that?
Yeah.
And what happened to the pilot that they left with?
Right?
He was nowhere to be found.
Because on the ship there were a couple of engineers still left, weren't there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were like 3 or 4 in cryospell, and the one that was alive that she was sitting next to when they flew away. If I'm remembering the ending of Prometheus correctly.
No, because the one that woke up and went on the rampage just spawned the deacon.
Oh, that's right.
He spawned the deacon, but
My bad.
There were 2 or 3 still in cryo. They fly to the home world, which later we find out this home world is pitiful.
Yep.
We'll get to that because again, it's so. This turns all the characters on such a 90-degree side. The only character from Prometheus that shows up is so different that you're just like, why? So, David explains that there was the accelerant, the Black Goo is an accelerant, broke out on contact, killed everybody here, but also mutated the fauna, the life to like eat everything that's not plant, and so that's why, and like everyone's like, oh, are we infected? No, you'd know by now because it's really fast. And he goes, make yourself at home. You guys can try to call your ship, and then everyone splits up again. Groan number 7.
Everyone splits up again, and then David and Walter have this weird homoerotic. It was so. David
Weird?
teaches Walter how to play the flute.
Yeah, and like you find out that Walter can't create. Okay?
And Walter can't create.
That's it. That's the whole scene.
Yeah, that's basically the whole scene.
But it's really long.
Meanwhile,
we talking about random security chick number 3.
Random faceless bimbo number 3 decides she's got to go wash her face
She has
and
blood
split
all
off from split off from the rest of the group again.
She turned.
So remember our friend? Yeah. Remember our friend back in the field that didn't die?
This thing looks
He's
so
out there
dumb.
climbing up the side of the mountain. It was so dumb. It was so dumb.
Like this is in all the trailers too. Like she turns her head to see the adult. I think they're called Neomorphs.
Neomorph, yeah.
And it's like it looks like it doesn't have a mouth, and all of a sudden it grows teeth and bites her head off, like comically, like rips her head off.
Yep.
And this thing looks so damn
dumb.
Like this is like everyone was like, oh, the beluga xenomorph concept art is so cool, and I'm like, no, this looks so damn dumb. This is dumb.
Yeah.
Like as a baby, it was
So she
kinda
dies.
cool, but as an adult, it looks like a pale white, stupid Xeno.
Yeah. Meanwhile, two other faceless crew members are on the roof trying to raise the Covenant, but of course there's a huge storm, and they can't contact them. And David is, keep trying, you'll get through.
Then we get a flashback of David talking to Walter above Shaw's grave, where randomly it does a flashback where he first lands at this city, and he releases the Black Goo, and it like makes a net randomly and then like sweeps around and kills everybody. Which, stop me real quick. If this is the engineer, because I'm calling them that because they're not the Space Jockeys in my brain. Fuck that. No, they're two different entities now. If this is the space. If this is the engineer homeworld, why is there only one city?
I don't know. And
that'd be like
with
him
everything
coming to Earth and nuking Washington D.C.
With everything that Prometheus was trying to set up, you know, they were looking for the creators. They were looking for a way to heal Weyland. And why would David, without even landing on the planet, so he brings in this juggernaut, and all the engineers are staring up at it, oohing and eyeing, and David basically opens the hatch and annihilates them without even so much as a "how's your father?"
Yeah.
Like no reason, he just fucking annihilates them.
Which is bizarro, again, from a standpoint of, the literal last transmission in Prometheus was, we're going to find the home and find out why they wanted to kill us. No.
And why would Shaw not send some kind of transmission back to Earth?
Right? Well, again, did you watch the 10-minute short of Shaw and David?
No, I think I missed that one.
It's on YouTube, apparently. She rebuilds David back together, and then they're going to go to the planet together, and it's going to take 7 years or something like that. And David basically says, well, I love you more than any person I've ever loved. And she goes to sleep, and then it leaves with him going, and for the next 7 years, I learned everything I could about them. The end.
Why did she rebuild David? Knowing what she knew.
Because he wasn't that malicious in Prometheus?
Rebuild David.
So, let's go to
the
next groan.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Are we gonna do it?
David's lab.
No, David's just trying to talk to the Neomorph, and Captain Christ shows up and shoots him. Shoots the Neomorph dead, and then instead of immediately killing David,
you've got to talk about the part where so David and the Neomorph are standing face to face. Now let's go back to the original Alien movie. What did the alien do to Bishop?
In Aliens, it threw him a la chestburster scene.
Yes. What did the alien do to Bilbo Baggins? Why can't I remember his name?
Well, Bilbo Baggins, Ash didn't get killed by the alien. That was via
right. That was Parker. Right. So yes. Okay. So and then. The alien fucking eviscerates Bishop.
Yeah, like the only interaction we ever get of an android and an alien together is bloody murder, or they just don't care about them because they don't see him as a threat.
Right. They cannot differentiate between android or human life.
Yeah.
So here's David standing with this Neomorph,
trying to touch its chest,
blowing into its face like a horse, trying to tell Captain Christ that if you breathe into a horse's face, it will trust you for life. Yeah, like a fucking brainless killing machine Neomorph. Why it didn't rip David's head off right there?
Oh.
So Captain Christ kills the Neomorph.
10 points for him.
10 points to Gryffindor.
Don't worry, he's going to lose 5,000 in the next couple scenes.
Because David then takes him to David's in Dexter's lab.
Well, even before that, he gives this line of I saw the devil when I was a child. Would like to know more.
Would like some development.
And if you don't tell me what's going on right now, I really did like this line. I'm gonna fuck up your perfectly good composure or whatever. And I was like,
something like that.
And this actually got a good chuckle in me because that was a good line. And what does David say? Very well, Captain, follow me. And I'm just like, okay, that was someone actually wrote witty dialogue. Ooh.
Yeah.
And then
the real writer must have been off that day.
Yeah. And then they go to David's lab. Do you want to take this one? Because all I'm gonna say is throughout this whole scene, Dr. Manhattan should be shooting David.
So Captain Christ follows David into his deep, dank cave where David has cataloged every species of life on this planet, more or less. And as you look around the room, you also happen to notice, various incarnations of our friend the Neomorph.
And And a skinned engineer.
And a skinned engineer.
And the biggest kick in the balls, that all of this came from a wasp.
Yep. A wasp. A wasp, no less. So David is going off on this diatribe about how he himself has been trying to perfect this life form. Now, here's one of the biggest plot holes
ever
in the movie. We all know by now that to lay the iconic egg that houses the facehugger, one needs an alien queen.
Or one that is leading up to being queen. I've seen the deleted scenes of Alien.
Yes. You need a Xenomorph with egg-laying capacity. So David takes Captain Christ down into this secret area where there are, inexplicably,
a bunch
like
of eggs.
8 or 9 of our classic Xenomorph facehugger bearing eggs. How the fuck did he get those? And here's groan number 9. One of them opens, and David casually invites Captain Christ to have a closer look. Now, at this point, I would have been firing
his rifle.
I would have non-discriminately
At everything.
But what does Captain Christ do? Leans over the fucking egg.
Like,
and out pops our friend the facehugger.
And this screws up the timeline worse than the AVP movies. Sorry.
That's okay. What did you just say?
I said in a matter of moments,
yes,
the facehugger is done.
Yep.
And the scene David is throwing rocks at Dr. Manhattan to wake him up, and then the chest bursting scene happens. Time out. Back it up.
Yep.
In the original Alien.
Uh-huh.
This is the only timeline we got. It takes them a couple hours to get from Nostromo's to Chicken Wing.
Correct.
Couple hours.
Yep.
That means there's more hours of them dragging Kane back to the Nostromo's.
Yep.
Then Parker and Brett specifically say it's going to take them 24 hours to fix the landing gear problem.
Yep.
They go up into space before the facehugger is done.
Yep. It's still attached.
So you're looking at like 12 plus hours here. Easily. And the only time anyone else has screwed up that timeline is in the first AVP movie, which is impregnation, latching on impregnation and chest bursting within 10 minutes.
Yep. And you get that in this movie. Otherwise, Aliens 1 through 4 respect the gestation period.
Yeah, with even Alien 3 just taking longer for either gestating a queen or the possibility of problems of cryosleep facehugging.
Yep.
Either way.
Anyway, the whole thing takes about 5
minutes.
I'm not even gonna give it 5 minutes. I don't think it was that short.
No.
Meanwhile, while all of this is going on, they've managed to somehow break through the storm and contact the Covenant.
Which, the worst line in history is uttered of, "We didn't leave Earth to be safe."
Yeah. And so, now that they don't have a proper escape ship, the fucking cowboy, whose name is Tennessee, apparently,
because we had
is going to
in the first movie.
is going to land the mining platform.
Yeah, the mining crane or whatever.
The mining crane through this ion storm to come pick them up. So yeah, cut back to David throwing rocks at Captain Christ, who has now woken up. And within 2 seconds, he doesn't even get to say, what did you do to me? Out comes our friend.
Which, this was the most outrageous part for me.
Yeah.
This scene should be, oh my gosh, horror. This is like the big lead up. No, instead we get this beautiful music playing.
Yep.
And David off in the dark going, "Ooh, the whole time.
Yes.
And
Essentially.
then on top of that, you ruin a chest burster.
Yep. So, What's-Her-Chunks comes running back to try to find Captain Christ and stumbles into David's lab.
His drawing lab or whatever.
His drawing lab. What?
No,
I'm getting confused at...
Because during the whole chest bursting scene, we found out that the chest burster isn't a snake, even though it's always been a snake. It has full arms, legs, and a tail. And then, like, he walks over
miss something.
and sees Shaw's body that he has apparently experimented on?
Yes. Shaw did not die of natural causes. Somehow, David used her as a guinea pig, even though he, quote-unquote, loved her more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
And we're also forgetting the part where David eviscerates Walter.
Yeah.
This is important. Walter and David have a fight scene. And David garrots Walter and, quote-unquote, kills him. But as they're panning away from Walter's body, you can see the skin is self-replicating and closing up.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Okay.
Ipso facto, Walter, they have this long debate about the upgrades and the improvements that Walter has over David, how they removed all that crappy emotional stuff and did all this other stuff. Well, one of the upgrades they made to the newest model, apparently, is a Wolverine-type healing factor.
They got that on tap now.
Yeah, they got that on tap now. Keep that in the back of your mind, because you think Walter's dead at this point, although something leads you to believe he might be popping back up.
So Daniels is in the drawing lab.
Yep. She's in the drawing lab. She sees Shaw's dead body. She and David have some kind of witty repartee, and then Walter charges in and saves her.
Hooray!
Hooray! And they also find out that the alien is acidic.
Oh, yeah, because then the two guys on the roof come down.
That's right.
Oh, we're going to try to find the captain. And then one of them goes into the facehugger room and gets attacked.
Yep.
The facehugger runs away and latches onto the other guy for like 0.5 seconds. And the other dude stabs him and it burns his face. And as they're trying to fix it, they look up and there's our terrible-looking CGI Xenomorph.
Yeah.
Drops down and kills one dude, but the other dude gets to run away.
Yeah.
So much for efficient.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
So they're all running towards the ship, and the android fight scene leaves on a cliffhanger of who won, because the movie wants to be that clever.
Yep. So David and Walter are fighting. Oh, I know what it is. When David slashes Walter's face with the knife, it heals.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
So basically, you're left on this cliffhanger. Who won, David or Walter? Well, I could have told you before the fight scene started who won.
Yeah.
Fucking David. Even though it leaves a huge plot hole there.
But when we see who wins, they're missing an arm.
They are. Ooh, so it must be Walter.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, fuck. So they get onto the platform, and there's this pretty... I mean, it was a decent action sequence, them trying to... It was a little too long. It was a little too over the top. She fell off that platform one too many times. Yeah. I expected her legs to get roasted by... I mean, she falls right next to the fucking exhaust.
Yeah.
Like 3 times. And, they clamp the alien in this crane thing and squish it, and it melts the crane, and they throw it off. So...
That's it. Credits, right?
No. No.
Why?
Because somehow...
In 0.5 seconds...
In 0.5 seconds, they all get back to the Covenant, the remaining people. But fucking somehow, there's another goddamn Xenomorph.
I don't know how.
We don't know how. We don't know where it came from. It's not explained.
Because, the dude who got facehugged was literally facehugged for, a half a second. But apparently that might have been enough.
Yep, but out it bursts and grows to full size in a matter of moments. So here we have them trying to rip off the famous Ripley and Dallas trying to catch the alien in the ventilation system scene. Because
it doesn't have any original ideas.
There are no original ideas. They end up trapping it in the terraforming. David and David/Walter. Sorry.
Illusion man. We gotta keep the illusion up. It's Walter.
We've already spoiled it. Yeah, it's Walter. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And what's her face? Trap it in the terraforming bay in the truck.
And then they jettison.
And they're basically, and they jettison it out into space.
But they're too slow, so it breaks out.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da. Ugh. And you would think this is where they're going to roll the credits, but no.
No, they tuck Tennessee back into bed. She tucks herself into bed, and then Walter, wink, wink,
quote unquote, wink, wink, nudge, nudge,
is tucking her in. And he goes, hey, by the way, since we were talking about you building this log cabin with me the whole time, you remember you're gonna help me build the log cabin? And Walter, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, goes, yeah, cool. And she goes, oh no, it's David.
It's David! Well, and here's the part that gave it away for me, is when Walter, quote unquote, comes back on the ship, and he's stapling the knife wounds shut.
Yeah.
This is an android that's supposed to be able to self-replicate.
Yeah, no.
And yet he's performing plastic surgery on himself.
With a stapler.
And I'm like, it's David.
Well,
it's David.
It's
David.
If that doesn't give you away, the next scene he's in, when you find out right before the alien is out, he gives this like weak smile of and you're like, that's weird. You're David. So now David regurgitates two face huggers.
Yeah. Well, one of them was supposed to be a queen embryo, and the other one was a face hugger. So now David has control of these 2,000-some frozen colonists. But what I want to know, in this futuristic world where nothing's supposed to get through the scanners and whatnot, is how did Mother not recognize David immediately as an intruder,
as a new personnel,
with a pathogen?
Mm-hmm. Well, even the bigger question here is, if you remember in the original Alien, when they go to the space jockey ship and they go, wow, this thing's been here for a long time. It's been fossilized. It's been here for thousands of years, possibly. This movie takes place 10 years before the original Alien. And they're 7 years away from the next ship. So how in 3 years does that thing become fossilized?
Another point of order. My brother brought this up to me. In the snake cave in Prometheus, there is clearly
an alien,
a sculpture of a Xenomorph.
Yeah.
As we know him. And yet we're led to believe that David created the Xenomorph.
Yeah. This is
so fucking Dave. Yeah, it really is.
This is like the idea of, in the original Star Wars, when you hear you were part of the Clone Wars. Gee, I wonder what the Clone Wars were. That sounds really cool. Nope, just a bunch of robots fighting a bunch of clones. No real stakes here. You go, man, I really want to know where the aliens come from. Like, do they have a planet where they have like a weird equilibrium with the actual life forms there, so they can sustain their numbers? No, some robot randomly made it because he was pissed off at humans.
Yeah, a disgruntled android, which to me sounds a bit like, I don't know, Blade Runner.
Yeah, right.
So, I brought this point up to you earlier because we were texting back and forth, and you know how sometimes when directors get senile after a certain age, they start to try. They forget which movie they're making, and they try to tie different universes together to like, and like all the fanboys like goose in their pants all at the same time. They're like, oh my gosh, that was taking place in the same universe. I will be so mad. I will be so mad if the replicants and the androids from Alien are in any way
Connected.
fucking connected because of this movie.
Yeah.
And like I said, next Tom Cruise is going to come charging through the set on the back of a unicorn, chased by Tim Curry dressed as the devil.
Well,
I mean,
10 out of 10 right there.
yeah, best movie ever.
Well,
So we're left at the end of Covenant with David walking around the ship, clearly infecting all of these colonists. And then it fades to black, and yeah, it's supposed to be 10 years before Alien. So what was the we still don't know how the jockey got to LV
426.
426. We have no idea. And how did that version of the alien get onto LV 426 if it was created on this other planet a bajillion light years away? So was that David's next stop on his magical mystery tour? So what happened to the Covenant? Where did the Covenant go?
I don't know.
If it was supposed to be
got
LV 426, yeah, I don't know.
This movie was
Point
bad.
of the story is
There is none.
Point of the story is I could have driven a New Orleans Pride parade through the gaping plot holes in this movie.
It's true.
I was so mad. My brother and I literally sat there in stunned silence for about 5 minutes while the credits were rolling, going, "What the hell did we just witness?"
Pretty much.
You know how everybody got really, really mad about Indiana Jones 4?
This was Indiana Jones 4, really, wasn't it?
This was Indiana Jones 4, and if the South Park crew could recreate that scene of Ridley Scott raping the Xenomorph on a table in front of them, that basically could be the way I would sum it up.
Here is the line I wanted to say it was from PC Gamer,
Okay.
actually. It says the article is what Alien Isolation gets right that Alien Covenant gets wrong. And there's a line at the end of one of them that says, knowing David created the Xenomorph adds nothing and takes everything away from them. Because it's true. It adds nothing. It doesn't add anything to it. You're not surprised or shocked or anything like that. And all it does is remove the mystery of it.
Well, and I watched an interview earlier today with Ridley Scott, and he's quoted as saying that, "Oh, having David create the Xenomorphs was far more interesting to me. That was the meat of the story." And I'm just like,
then why was it tacked on Act 3 randomly?
Yeah.
All right, let's rate this thing and go to bed because I'm upset with it.
Yep.
What's your rating?
I rate it right above the worst case of diarrhea I've ever had.
It is the worst Alien movie out of 8 for me.
Yep, it really is.
Yep.
It really, really is.
I love that you sent me a message saying people need to lay off Resurrection. Really do.
Yeah, they really do. Well, I posted on some forum, because I follow Alien on Facebook.
Oh God.
Because every now and again they have cool things on the anniversaries of the movies that I do like.
Yeah.
And there was a picture of Ridley Scott with one of the actors on set pointing to a computer screen. And, people were going through and captioning it, and my caption was, "And this right here is where in the script I ruined the entire franchise in one stroke." And some mouth breather got on there and was just like, "No, this movie was glorious. It's the pinnacle of the series. The worst one ever was Alien Resurrection, da-da-da-da." And you know what? Okay. Alien Resurrection was what it was. I still find it incredibly enjoyable.
Well, I tell everybody, if you're going to watch it, there's 20 minutes from the end of the movie, including credits. There's a part where Ripley gets captured by the aliens. You turn it off there.
Yep.
Just turn it off.
Yep.
And you're like, that was an alright movie. It wasn't anything great.
Yeah.
But it was entertaining. And even if you continue watching it, it basically plays out like any Alien comic book ever was. Great start, okay middle, and a terrible ending.
Yeah.
By trying to introduce something new and different.
But at least it stayed within the canon.
Mm-hmm.
It followed the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave us hope that we would again one day see Ellen Ripley in action.
Yep. And it's like, I don't even need Ellen Ripley in the movie for this. It's just, come on, guys. It's funny that Ridley Scott said he was upset with how everyone treated the Xenomorph after him.
Ugh.
And yet in this movie, he treats it worse than even the AVP movies.
Yeah. And to be honest, the creatures maybe in the movie was like 2.5 hours long, and I think the creature FaceTime we got may have totaled about 10 minutes. Max.
And the rest was filled with pointless filler.
And granted, in the original Alien, the original creature doesn't show up until about an hour into the movie.
It's a 2-hour movie.
But the movie spends that first hour cranking up the tension and getting you to care about each of the characters.
Yeah.
Whereas this movie just kind of
throws it out the window.
It's like a little kid with Play-Doh. He smashed it on the table a couple times, got bored with it, and walked away.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, I rate it right. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, it's just.
That's all I got.
I'm sure we'll talk about it more next time you're on.
Oh, absolutely.
You're
I need a drink.
You're part of my recovery group now. You're gonna cry.
Well, I
together
gotta.
while
Yes. Well, I'll figure out what the hell went wrong with my camera, so next time you can see my facial expressions.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Movie is garbage.